Woo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Essentials.tf. My name is Jake. Today with me, we have Peter on the co-caster seat, as well as Samus, broadcasting it for everyone. And don't we have a really big game today? It's going to be SKEDDA versus For Fence. This is the lower bracket semifinal for the Premiership playoffs. And yeah, one of those teams is just going to advance further, give themselves a chance to win the trophy, at least. And the other one, unfortunately, is going to have to wave us goodbye, as far as I believe, Peter.
Yes, because this is the lower bracket semifinals. They've actually mixed it up a little bit with the way they structure the playoffs. Usually it's just an elimination bracket, and you just kind of lose as you go, basically. But this time around, it's a bit different, and you actually have the lower two seeds start in the lower bracket, and the top two seeds start in the upper bracket.
Yeah, and we're coming off from Uberfest. We've seen SKEDDA play and get themselves a second place there. When it comes to France, though, we only seen a couple of players visiting. They have a mixed team going on for going into the LAN, but now they're in full force and could be still anybody's game, really. I mean, I think SKEDDA has a bit of a better chance just because they had so much practice done in person over the weekend rather than the French team. But that's just my prediction here.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's basically scrimming on turbo mode, what they just did on that weekend, right? Like high intensity, lots of like high consequence moments, and then it's just the sheer volume of games that they've got to play with each other. That can only make you better as a team, in my opinion. Everything else would make no sense to me. So absolutely agree with that assessment. There is something to be said for like it's just a different like vibe at LAN compared to what it is online. So things can change a little bit, and that can throw you off a bit. But well, let's be honest, it's limited how much you can be thrown off by playing at home like you do 99% of the time. These guys will be fine. But yeah, it should be very interesting to see how much the LAN really comes into effect here. As also we have, this French team which just barely made the playoffs, and they played against Pepe's Pizza Party at LAN in what was a pretty funny match overall. Like Pepe's played that really, really late and probably drunk as well. So I'm not sure how much we can take away from that. But either way, also that was weird because like Nevo was playing for them. And he was also playing for 3.5 stars. So it kind of feels like we've seen this match before with 3.5 stars in SKEDDA, but at the same time, no, we don't. These are different French people. It should be quite interesting, but yeah, we have Nevo, we have Patchouli in here. Those were both at LAN.
Correct.
Yeah, but then everyone else I don't think were. So it's just a different French team. It is a non-RAF team. So we should be quite interesting to see how they match up. But yeah, I would absolutely favor SKEDDA here just because, as you pointed out, they have so much practice now playing with each other. It should be pretty good. Should be a good game overall.
Yeah, and speaking of the senior we're going to be witnessing this game on, I believe we have some map picks, and the first pick was for Fence, as they're coming in from a lower point, so they get the first pick, and that's Process. And then for the second round, we're going to Granary, that's picked by SKEDDA, and Snakewater ended up being the decider. So it's 3 times 5 CP, best of 3, so it could be a chance that we go all the way to the third map. It could be just that either SKEDDA or For Fence wins this, but just based on our predictions, what we've seen over the weekend, as well as like a few things in the background that not many people really look into that far, I think SKEDDA should have a much easier time dealing with this rather than the For Fence team. Coming in hot off the heels from the LAN, getting that second place, which is quite significant. That LAN. By the way, anyone who's watching right now, just watch some VODs. It's been a spectacular LAN, probably one of the best in recent times. But yeah, New Panther winning that one, SKEDDA coming in second. They definitely have something to prove here, and they definitely want to make sure that this game is as good as done, Peter.
Yeah, let's go through the map picks a little bit. We saw SKEDDA, they started out by banning Metalworks, then For Fence banned Bagel, which doesn't surprise me too much. It seemed
the wild card of all the TF2 maps, at least for the seasons, from what I've seen.
Yeah, and then For Fence they picked Process, and then we saw Granary picked, and then Gully was also banned. That was all by SKEDDA. And then for offense, they banned Sultry and Sunshine. And then at the very end, their SKEDDA, they had the choice between Snakewater and Product, and they decided to ban Product, so we're playing Snakewater Decider. Kind of surprised that Product was in the map pool that far in. It really shows you that the French team, they're not afraid of playing Product, and they would be completely fine with just having a sniper fest. I think that's my takeaway from it. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, but you have to kind of keep in mind that Medix really, at least what I've seen on LAN, he really prefers to off-class to sniper when it really matters. Like if he goes in really deep, goes for a pick, dies, it's not uncommon to see him switch over to sniper class, look for a pick, maybe two, get his usefulness up, and then basically let the team push off of that, have himself sacrifice, maybe switch back to the scout, push to the last. It's worked out for them so far, so watching Process first, it's going to be quite interesting because it is, known to be a quite sniper-friendly map, especially when it comes to like the mid and the second. There's so many different little avenues, little corridors you can just do a quick scope from, maybe drop a medic, maybe drop a demo, delay that push as much as possible, and then basically go back to spawn, switch over to some more useful class for defense or offense, depending on what the situation is, and just push off of that. Like, it's such a sniper-friendly map, so I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing at least Manix switch over a couple of times in this game. But I'm also sure that, coming hot from the LAN as well, seeing some of the French people just knowing what SKEDDA can do and having that bit of extra prep under their belt, it's definitely going to help them out. I mean, I must say, after this LAN, I've watched a couple of games from Fence, at least from the people who are playing today, and Patchouli has really impressed me with how smart they're playing their medic, how basically being right on the offense, like right on the cusp of just being on the offensive front line, and then always knowing when to just simply back away.
Yeah, it's an absolute art form, this thing where like you're almost overextended, but that almost is doing a ton of heavy lifting where, basically the best position you can be in as medic is almost too far forward, right? Where you just pump heals into your team and make sure that they have the best possible chance to die, but at the same time you don't overextend and you get out in situations where you actually have the chance to. So he was playing that line really well on LAN, so I hope he can keep that up.
Yeah, so do I. I think it's like, I always think of a medic as like a goalkeeper of a team. Like if you're playing the top of your game, your team will simply not lose any goals. But at the same time, you need to have a good team supporting you to get goals yourself to actually do win. So having Patchouli on that for Fence team is just kind of giving you that very like nice, comfortable safety net behind you, making sure that our medic is always going to be alive. I mean, we'll see how this game goes, of course, but what I've seen. Definitely one of the medics to look out for, and just spectacular plays all around. I mean, medics usually play quite defensively. They don't want to get any shots on them. But I've seen a few times now that, medics are being used as sort of a bait, kind of bait out the flank, bait out the soldiers to just expose themselves and get themselves shot down immediately right after. Because that's like the best class to bait people with.
Yeah. And he's also taking the place of Mula, I believe. And I think those two medics have a pretty similar play style, so it's not going to be that big of a difference on that front. Maybe the calling's going to be a bit different. That can always be an issue. So we'll have to see if we see anything weird where like Patchouli runs out one way and then his pocket scout runs out a different way. Where you can just kind of tell like maybe they're not quite on the same wavelength. But definitely not going to assume anything until we actually see it in action here. But let's just go over the rosters real quick here, because SKEDDA, it is just the LAN lineup. It is Menix and Af on Scout, Lucas on Demo Man, Warped on that must be Roamer. Yeah, no, actually that's probably Pocket, right? And then Jordy on Roamer. Who knows? Well, they're just
around.
Aggressive.
We've seen them swap around quite a bit. It really kind of what situation is. Of course, Mac on the medic, the man himself. But going over to the Fence team, we have Nevo on Scout, QB following him up on the flank. Then there's Demule and Brugman. I believe they're going to be on the soldier classes. I'm not sure who is going to be more of a pocket here. Beater, maybe you know a bit more about this.
Brugman is definitely the pocket in that situation.
And then we have Deli 69, who is going to be on the demo class, and Patchouli, as we discussed before, on the good old-fashioned medic supporting the team. So all around, pretty strong lineup, I would say. But again, it's just kind of, I can't see for Fence kind of taking SKEDDA out based on what we've seen so far. It's just very hard for me to see a future and a timeline where for fans can kind of take it decisively. Maybe they can scrap away a map, and that could be Process, because this is their pick. But at the same time, I just feel like we've seen Process also being played a lot this season. I think it's one of the favorite maps for sixes, so it still could be anyone's game. I think it's just basically SKEDDA seeing that they have to play this map first. I don't think they really mind. I don't think many sixes teams would mind playing this map. So
yeah,
it's all gonna be down to personal skill and prep.
Yeah, it's just the gold standard for TF2 maps. We just got a fake ready up there. I'm sure. I think that means they're just about ready, and one French person decided they need another baguette and a cig just before they get ready here. But we should be ready to go pretty soon. I think we're both in the camp that SKEDDA's going to win this.
Yep.
However, I will say, like Process, this is a notorious, like Soldier can go huge type of map, right? Fly through a choke. And sometimes Bruceman and Mool, they are just on. So if they have like really great games, I think this could actually be a very close game. As we have gone live here and we are rolling out to mid.
Watching Sleuthsting right now quite fast here, actually denying Deli from the launch box. That's actually quite big. Slowing that enemy demo from Fence team is going to provide them with a lot of ground, but there is QB and now Rudeman jumping in sky high, going for the medic. 1 rocket, 2 rockets. Max is just surfing this one away, but he's being tested by another soldier and is thankfully kind of defended by the team. Jordan is following him up, and App is going to support Max all the way back to spawn. They had a good rollout. They had a good time blocking Deli from getting that health back, but for Festing just basically pulling themselves out of the situation. And looks like SKEDDA, however, just kind of trying to see what the situation choke is, but Deli is just blocking quite well, and that means middle point belongs to the French team, and now they're just going to simply push their way forward. Both medics almost at 100%. We're going to be looking at second point.
Yeah, for as aggressive as that mid was played by both teams, it's kind of amazing that it was only one person that died. And the first person that to die was actually, I think it was Jordy. We have a soldier bombing in there, doesn't even get close. But actually, Lucas gets taken down by QB in the confusion there. They're all looking up in the sky. Now they're going to be a demo man down. This is definitely grounds for doing a lot of aggression here from the 4 fence. Looks like it is kind of fizzling out, but also they're not just leaving the area. These doors are not being stickied out. So I think maybe they're just creating space for one more bomb in here as for a soldier. We have one Wadlet.
They can kind of wait their way out, but you can see Demio on the way back. Warp is now chasing him away back to spawn, trying to take care of that. But there's a drop here. I believe it's a medic. A medic drop. Patchouli takes out Max, flings him to the wall, and that is a huge advantage for the French team. That's absolutely insane. Fully stacked is the French team. Only 3 players alive for the Reds, and they have the Uber charge in tow, France. Now they're just going to simply muscle their way in. There is a heavy weapons guy, but he's just going to get absolutely mowed over, and they're still very much alive. Only QB Bridgman now going down, but the point is currently uncontested. Halfway done, Peter, but they're still fighting for it. Even low on HP, that's kind of crumbling right now, but they're scrapping their way up. There's a demo trying to jump on the point, but no, it's not going to be enough, Peter. And now French team getting themselves the first point in this game. That's going to be a huge motivation.
The momentum from that arrow snipe was just so big. There was just no way they could just match up against that Uber. It got a little messy there at the end. It took them a little longer to clean up than you'd like to see, but in the end, it was a pretty comfortable last push there. The 4 fence, basically, I want to say the Lucas pick off was like the big catalyst for all of this that happened. And then just, yeah, the random arrow snipe just really turned things around. So never underestimate Max's ability to throw a match, I guess. Dumbass.
But we're back to middle once again. Rudman once again going in sky high, trying to bomb the medic, but now joined by Demio in the PC area. They're taking down Jordy. A few kills left, right, and center. Only both teams actually on 3 players up, but it seems that it's SKEDDA this time around who are going to win this fight and actually use the 2 scouts, Menix and Af, to protect Mac from dying and basically secure themselves that middle point. They need to wait a little bit longer for the respawns to join them to get those reinforcements, but they're going to retain their Uber charge, but so does Patchouli. And it's just basically a mirror situation just on the other side for both teams. Now SKEDDA getting their players in, getting reunited, and they're probably going to decide whether to push through choke or the pipes. What they decide.
Yeah, you could see that Julie was thinking about going back in there, but then I think he hit tab and he was like, oh wait, no, it's actually Af and Menix that's alive. That's not a good situation. You don't want two scouts to go up against your soldier and a demo man. So actually, there's a lot of fighting on the flank. So far, it's just a trade, but there's another scout in there. Yeah, will get taken down. Menix unable to escape there or get a kill in time. So it's actually a one-man advantage right now. 4-man up. It's going to be very difficult to actually stop these bombings. Timur's going to trade with Jordy as well. This is getting so uncomfortable. With only 3 players alive, and the spawners are slightly better for the French team. And Lucas going down, that should be just absolute like lights out curtains. You don't want to be in his fight, and Mac, he is getting out there without using his Uber, so that's a nice little consolation prize, but still very difficult for them to actually hold this choke. So if soldiers want to get in there and try to get an Uber force off, they're going to have a really good opportunity to do it here.
Absolutely, Bridgman already on to Mac. Mac is dodging left, right, and center. Nevo, however, he is on touch here, but they do pick up Deli. That's big. Losing Manix for the exchange is not that big of a price to pay. Now it's France team that needs to get out of the situation, but truly without 2 scouts, needs to go reunite with the soldiers. Going back all the way to middle, they're still being chased by Av, who is picking up flights left, right, and center. Now finally rejoined by the rest of the team. Following up, neither medic really popping Uber charge yet. I mean, Matt truly just used it to save himself.
Yeah, it was an Uber exchange, but it was not an exchange at all. Huge bomb in there from Lucas to shut down the choke. But yeah, it was like Mac was basically forward, and then he just didn't get hit by a scout, and he just didn't use the Uber. So they have a huge Uber advantage now. Jordy gets air shot there, gets taken down. Nice pipes there from Deli. That will slow them down a little bit, but it should still be a very good opportunity here for SKEDDA to just move in with an Uber. Actually, I say that it's going to be pretty difficult to get in there in time, but maybe with Bridgman jumping in here, I don't understand what he was going for in that situation. Very confusing to me. This should just be an open invitation to go in here. But really, he will get his Uber in time though, so that's good. There's a heavy, there's no sentry gun. They don't have time to build it just yet. So still pretty good opportunity here for a pressure play if SKEDDA want to do it. And looks like, yeah, Jordy, he jumped in, see what he could do. Menix tried to sneak his way in there. Both of them get deflected, but they also both get out with their lives intact. So I think we're about ready here to settle down. Maybe Forfins will just never have time to build the sentry gun. Actually, Demul going down, this could get out of hand at this point here. It's SKEDDA, they're now moving forward.
Jordy's jumping in, but he's going to get denied by the heavy. QB still sticking on the point. There's a lot of sticks on it right now, so he needs to move away. But Truly's getting pressured out of the spawn area, but there are 2 scouts on the point right now. They need to get someone there, and it's just not going to happen. There's just no one there to stop the point from getting capped, and it's going to equalize themselves in this game, Beater.
Both teams milking so hard, and just Mac actually milked that Uber so hard that he just capped. He popped like a millisecond after that got capped out, but that was really funny. It was just a dry push. Both teams knew that they don't want to use their Uber unnecessarily, so they just ended up not using it at all, and that's going to be 1-to-1 in the weirdest way possible. With both teams having full Ubers and never using them, despite the players just dying all around them.
We're back to middle once again. Demul taking that upper position, now being pestered by Menix, and after 2 scouts, Bridgman once again, huge bomb, looking for Mac. He's still looking for it. Puts a rock into the medic, but he's not going to be able to finish the job. Max is only losing a little bit of HP, holding quite aggressively. They're next to the enemies on lunchbox. Jumping in is Jordy now, looking for some kills, but Chuli's in a lot of trouble. He's losing a lot of health. Huge airshot there onto Deli. That's amazing. Now Menix is trying to finish up the job, but Nevo's getting healed up, and they're escorting Medic all the way back to last spawn. SKEDDA once again just basically steamrolls French team out of the middle point, and they're even going to get the second as a reward.
And while all of that was happening, Cuba was just in on Mac, and he just beefed a couple of shots, and Mac will survive just barely as well. It was almost a very good mid here for Fence, but unfortunately for them, not quite going to be the case. So we're basically back where we were before with full Ubers and just both teams being all up. The only difference now is that we actually have time for Cuba to build up the sentry gun. That's going to actually make a big deal. It's going to be way more difficult to do pressure here. So you can see Menix, he's playing over in this one area, trying to sneak his way in. Actually, what immediately spams on sentry gun. Jordy tries to jump in, but he is getting denied super duper hard. And 2 soldiers that went in for the suicide, yeah, they just ended up dying. And I don't, unfortunately, think Demul is in any position to jump out, same for Bruceman, so they're just going to stand back and play a bit of sniper, see if they can maybe pick off some random heads.
Yeah, I think it's a good play here. I mean, sacrificing 2 soldiers from SKEDDA just to kind of see if we can maybe force the medic. Good play enough. You know, they don't have to really stress for time just yet, so they can just check
here,
it.
Jake.
What's happening? What's happening? Talk.
We have double man treads on these SKEDDA soldiers. Both Warp and Jordy are wearing man treads. Man treads, they make it so that you take, the normal amount of damage from rocket jumping. You don't get the gunboats buff that. Oh, they just barely pick off the move as well, so that's really nice. But you take no knockback, basically. So you can just jump into a sentry gun, and scouts can't deny you, so you can get in very, very cleanly. So if you're just buffed enough, it's really good for you, but Jordy will get taken down, and I think they're just going to wait for him to come back before they really try anything here.
Yeah, I think this has been quite a thing that's happening in the European part of Team Fortress 2, where like the teams really like to slow things down. They don't really want to risk going for a play if that's going to risk them losing a point. And French team kind of need to wait for SKEDDA to make the first move, otherwise they're just gonna risk it. They need to make sure that they have everyone on the point this time around, because last time they didn't have anyone and they lost the point basically for free. Now SKEDDA is moving through the lobby. They're kind of inching their way forward. They don't want to take too much damage themselves, but huge headshot there onto Lucas Stack, denying this. Warp going for the sniper here for Nevo, but he's gonna go die himself as well thanks to the level 3 sentry gun by QB. And that's 2 players down for the side of the red, and once again SKEDDA is just gonna try to see if they wait for a play, but Nevo, another killer and another soldier Jordy this time around. Mac is having a little bit of a trouble here. He does need to pop. He has 2 scouts that are fetching him all the way to Patchouli. Maybe try to force, but Patchouli low on HP, but still not popping. That's huge. And now Medics and F need to back away. They do lose a lot of players, and it's just simply not going to be enough. Medics and Warp still are looking to get some kills here in the lobby, but looks like they've been called back by Mac. And once again, they're going to reset the situation, but this time around, there's Patchouli who's holding all the cards with 100% Uber charge. They should make a play with this.
Yeah, this is where we find out what kind of team Forfence is, because some teams would just stay back and last and wait for the round to reset here, but the Frenchies, they are not like that. They want to play off of their advantages, and I'm a big fan here. They're going to move out very strongly. Patchouli is fully healed up. Mac is only on 70%. Looks like it's just going to be an exchange here off this second point, just muscling them out. But yeah, this is nice for me. I think this is a good sign that we're going to have a good game here. That the fact that they actually push off of a massive Uber advantage here. And yeah, just great job by Nevo. I feel like Nevo is the only person we didn't mention in the early game when it came to sniping. And Nevo snipes quite a lot, and he just hit some really nice shots there, picking off Demo Man and the soldier. And I'm just trying to check if either one of the soldiers are stuck on man treads. Look like no, they're both on gunboats. They both died. Okay, that would be kind of awkward if you were just stuck on man treads.
Now they lost both soldiers in that exchange, including the Demo Man. With only 2 scats, there's only so much you can do. Jordy going huge and taking down nobody as the entire team just goes and dies. This is the respawn queue. Now Mac and Lucas Stack, the only players alive. They need to get out of the situation. Mac is being forced out, and they're just gonna use the dregs of that Uber charge to get out. It seems that Lucas Stack has a little bit of trouble getting out as he's being knocked back, but that is a full Uber force out, and Brugman is not letting up the gas. Moving in forward, but no, this time around, call back again. They're gonna try to get that second point with the Uber charge. Huge bomb there onto Patchouli, but Patchouli, nerves of steel, once again showing us what we said in the beginning, Peter. Just you can't stop this medic.
No, he's not going to pop for anything if he can absolutely help it. When we saw him go down to 28 before, he only went down to 71. This is nothing to him. They're going to Uber in now. Mac is still on 50%, hiding in the bunker. Soldier's going to jump in very aggressively to just buy some time here, but it's just owning the stickies on the point. But Lucas is so weak. But actually, a lot of players have gone down. Af gets taken down by Patchouli, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough. Just a single soldier on the point. Ooh, nice shot there from Demul. This is going to complicate things. Medic's caught in, though. Yeah, he's just going to eventually get taken down. I think there's one more player up, but that's just going to be Deli limping out of there. So, a strong push out there, but it just shows you sometimes Uber advantage is not enough. You need to also clean up players really well, and they didn't quite do that in time. I feel like...
I was looking at that push, and everything would look textbook. They didn't have anyone standing on the point, and then eventually just fizzled out, Peter.
Yeah, it's you basically have to get a lot of time on the point or a lot of pressure on it, or you have to clean up really well. And they kind of ended up doing a little bit on both there, and it was just barely not enough to get the job done here. So they're moving in quite aggressively, and Patchouli was being... oh no, how did Mac drop that? Was that just...
Yeah, Demio went behind him, went from the launchbox area and just put a rocket in him when he was low in HP, and I don't think Mac saw him, I don't think Mac expected it, but the Uber has been dropped here, all the spaghetti is on the floor, and now Patchouli has that massive advantage. Bleeding players is SKEDDA. Jordy joining the team.
Oh, Medic's on the medic.
Support.
Oh my god, Medic's gets it.
gets the medic and equalizes the situation. That's absolutely massive here, Peter.
Yeah, absolutely hero play as it came out. They basically had no gas left in the tank, no soldiers to bomb in on the medic. That's just lights out. That's not how you usually get things, but now it's just a spam war here. SKEDDA, they know their medic's going to be in the fight a little bit earlier here, so you can just see the more pot shots that they're able to hit, the better the situation's going to be, and the easier it's going to be to just make people leave. But Deli gets a sticky pick here, and Lucas is unable to get out in time, and actually this aggression from SKEDDA, it's really coming back to bite them right now as they're just getting pushed back by Forfence.
Yeah, the French team is just unafraid of this advantage that the Mac has. They're just trying to use as much try pushing as possible before both medics solidify themselves on those points with their Uber charges in tow. Patchouli has quite a big disadvantage, but they do get themselves the second point, and that gives them a lot of breathing room. Holding very close to choke, they didn't really want to risk anything, only sending QB out for some scouting. As a scout does, joined now by Brugman, they're looking for some players, but it seems that SKEDDA is just completely uninterested in leaving last. They have the Uber charge, they're giving themselves time to build up that sentry gun and prepare for a last push. I think it's a good idea. It's a little bit maybe boring for the viewers, but it's a very smart and sensible idea. If like you don't want to risk anything, that you have the Uber charge, but by the time you manage to get in position, it's probably going to be equal. Now Menix has switched to a sniper. That should open up some sight lines.
And Jordy's spy. He's right next to the medic, but there's also some other people there. So I think he's still kind of limping his way out there. But yeah, I don't blame him for not pushing there. They knew they had about 50 to 40% Uber advantage. That's not a whole lot. You can lose that very quickly pushing out of process last. So now it's just going to be Jordy going for the spy play. And it doesn't seem like anyone really suspects it.
No, but he's so patient with this. He doesn't have to rush it, and he shouldn't. Otherwise, all this time is just going to be simply wasted. Being very wary of the soldiers because the blast is going to expose him, and Demiel is sticking very close to Patchouli. They're moving into the lobby area. Now Jordy is uncloaked. He's looking for a kill. He gets a scout. He gets two. The soldier as well. He doesn't get a medic, but that's big enough. The Warp is joining the team and trying to take down Deli. Low on HP is Deli, but it's not going to finish the job. But taking down two for the price of one, that is an exchange that anybody would take. And I think SKEDDA are feeling themselves because they're pushing him forward. Medic's picking up Patchouli with a body shot.
Really huge play here, and currently Demul is stuck on Mantreads. This is not the best loadout here to try and get a big bomb onto a medic, but yeah, just absolute chaos right now. So many things going wrong for both teams. It looks like it is very, very chaotic. As SKEDDA, they want to push out here, but they need to be careful. We've seen how easily things can go wrong. And scouting very aggressive with Jordy with the huge rocket there onto QB. Really, really well done by him. Mac has been popped, and they're just getting everyone out of there. Both soldiers have gone down. Actually, that's not true. Demul has limped out of there. He's just walking around with his Mantreads, feeling sad.
A little bit stuck on the pick right now, but you know, you can still use it to bomb. Jordan, however, is feeling himself and feeling himself a bit too much as he goes and dies immediately. Demiel is having a little bit of trouble dealing with the entire force of SKEDDA team, but he's still fighting for it. They do drop Warp there, thanks to Nevo, and now off of that, they're trying to push the enemy team out of the choke point, and that's what they're doing right now. Patchouli is a slight advantage after that drop, though, since Matt has popped the Uber charge to try to get the Frenchies out of that second point, and now in a very good position is the French team. They're moving in from the side, looking, opening with the Uber charge immediately. They're not really risking anything, looking for some targets, but they're not fighting anything. Halfway the Uber is done now, and they haven't really done much. They only picked up Jordy, and they lost 2 players for that entire push. That would be a pretty big failure that you should probably talk about later on.
Yeah, but Jordy did so much damage there. Just like, not only did he kill someone, but then he also jumped behind, drew some players back. Medics are unable to clear those stickies before they blow him up here. It's going to make it a lot more difficult to come out and actually put pressure on the point. You want scouts on the point. You want scouts to take care of your medic. Now you only have one of them. You kind of need to do both at the same time. So, it's going to be just slightly more complicated now here. So the Frenchies, they're not leaving. They're sending in a soldier. Brugman gets denied by Lucas. Really nice pipe there from him. I think that's going to be the call to just move on out of there, get Patchouli back in a little more safe position, because it is still an Uber advantage here. It's about 20%. It's not a whole lot, but Mac, he's taking a lot of damage, so he could absolutely just pop this very soon and might just see Lucas come screaming into the enemy team. And actually, no, this time around, they're going to play it safe, going to go back. Don't want to overextend. It does seem like we've had a bunch of instances where one team will push in very aggressively, and then they get punished for it, and then the other team might push in a little bit too aggressively and get punished for it. So I think they're just kind of settling into the fact that they need to just slow it down a bit here, not make the same mistake twice.
Correct. I think that's basically it. I mean, Jordy joining a huge in and then immediately getting blasted out of that situation by Bergman. You know, it was a bit of a soldier's kiss, as I like to call it. But now they're back within their respective teams, healing themselves up, getting healthy, and well, with both medics at full uber charge, it's basically up to either the French team or SKEDDA to kind of make the first move. It seems that Delhi is just kind of scoping out the area from the choke, putting some sticks on the point, getting some chip damage. QB and Dean already moving into position through PC. So Menix already spots them, so he's going to be able to alert the team to the situation. Delhi is still putting up some good pressure up on the team. Max is being forced out from that top position all the way to behind. QB going from below, seeing Mac, but he is unable to close the gap either, and it's just a bit of a long-range fight going on right now. Both teams just doing chip damage, but no one's really able to commit fully to making a move. And look how far back is the French team. They're just happy to goad SKEDDA into making a mistake first.
Yeah, it looked like they wanted to take a breather. They've just buffed up both their soldier. It might just be a classic soldier double bomb in here. They're not really in a good position to do it, to execute it, but they definitely have them buffed up, and they've actually rotated around now into the sewer area. So that might just be the approach now. Take it very slow, do a lot of pressure, and then just see if you can sneak a scout or a soldier through on the side. But actually, it's just going to be a soldier from the front. Gets one nice rocket onto Mac, but then gets picked off immediately there by Menix. Patchouli eats a pipe.
That is the fattest pipe I've seen. I mean, Patchouli dropping the uber charge, unable to pop with only 20 HP, and that is giving Mac a huge advantage right now. SKEDDA is getting that wind back into their sails, and they're just completely going in full throttle. They're capping themselves middle point right now. They don't have that much time left on the clock. There's only 9 minutes left with both teams in a 1-1, so they probably will try to extend that gap a little bit further. Now Jordy going in quite aggressive. Uber's being popped immediately. They're trying to use it as much as possible. Going in forward, they really want to use this as best as they can. Nice catch up by Mac, saving the demo man from certain death. And now Lucas is back to full HP. Second boy is currently getting capped. Neither medic has Uber charge, which means SKEDDA is going to be happy to dry push this one in. See what they can pick out, see what they can gain from this play. They're currently holding out in the lower lobby here. Quite safe and sound. Now moving in is Jordy, putting some damage on the Bruce basically breath away, and he gets cleaned up there. 2 players down for the side of blue for the price of 1 on the side of red here, and SKEDDA is still inching their way forward. Menix putting like a lot of pot shots, jumping and double jumping here.
Patchouli's so weak.
Oh no, and he's gonna get cleaned up. It's only 2 players deep on 7 HP. This is gonna be enough to get the deal sealed here by SKEDDA, extending that score to 2 points, giving themselves an advantage and, you know, a bit of comfort going into the last part of this first map.
Yeah, it's 8 minutes remaining, and the Chad dry push there. Just no respect. They had 1-man advantage, that's it. And they just kept on pushing on it, just barely winning out, just taking fights, slowly just whittling them down. And it was enough. It's the thing we were kind of saying that it didn't work all the time before. Oh my god, Delhi's so weak. Okay, he's going to get an arrow just in time, but just as I say that, he will actually get taken down here. So a really good start to the mid here to SKEDDA.
Right, yeah, absolutely. And once again, French team is unfortunately forced out of this middle. Only 3 players up for them, and Patchouli is definitely not going to have an easy time with the entire SKEDDA team just pushing them out of middle, now pushing onto second without even having middle capped yet, only leaving Menix to finish the job. They're securing themselves a very good position on second, and once again they're going to try to siege that last point for the French team. They need to start building some kind of defense, because otherwise they're going to be caught off guard here. Once again, they are 1 point down. They cannot afford to lose anymore with as much time left on the clock. And sees that both medics currently at full uber charge. Nevo now switching to the spy class. That's interesting.
And it's worked before, right? Last time we saw Spy in this situation, it got 2 picks. And for some reason, I feel like people don't usually expect this, where you just have a last hole and they just randomly switch to a Spy and go out last. It's usually the other way around. You would expect it, but yeah, this is just as legit in my opinion. So yeah, currently he's just trying to. He actually walked the long way around. He's just going to come around this corner. He's made his way in there. Oh my god! Oh no! Say a stop.
Oh my! my heart just jumped there in my chest, and I think Mac is feeling himself a little bit more sweaty after this one. That was really, really close. Nevo playing the long game, trying to break this defense here to Peter, but unfortunately he was unable to seal the deal, and this time around it's just gonna be SKEDDA kind of offended by this attempt. Pushing in, but now Brugman and D-Mule is just basically trying to force them out of the lobby area. They don't want them anywhere near that last point. Just make sure that it's protected. Now they're pushing into the lobby. Brugman is, well, on the offensive, on the front line. He's gonna get bullied out of the situation. He really does need to stay alive, because even one death on the side of French will mean that SKEDDA will just simply try to capitalize on that. And with both teams fully healthy and with everyone matching, well, once again, we're back to the stalemate we had about a minute before.
Well, last time we had a stalemate, Nevo went sniper. He got quite a lot of picks. Like, Lucas was the first head he took care of, and then a soldier after that. But actually, Dimmu was going to walk forward in lobby and just get taken down quite efficiently. He barely did any damage as well. So this is going to be a nice little opening. Brugman goes down on the other flank. The flanks are just dying here for Forfence. Soldiers in behind. What a nice rocket there. And yeah, they do eventually fight off the soldiers, but they have to pay for it with an Uber. So really great play here from SKEDDA. They're just going to have to wait these 15 seconds to get the soldiers back, and then they're going to do a nice push in. Really, really well executed there. Just overpowering the flanks, taking some, I don't even want to say one of them was a 1v1, but the other one was just catching up to Mool. So yeah, super well played by them. And let's see if they can actually come in here and use this full Uber ad to their advantage and get the final round, the nail in the coffin here for SKEDDA.
Yeah, I think that would spell a disaster for the French team. Now they're moving into the bunker area with Nevo on the heavy weapons guy. They also have a sentry being built up by QB. Should be ready in time, but coming in hot is Lucas Tank, coming and trying to push the enemy team out of the bunker. QB is still working on that sentry. That's actually really helping him out here, as Matt has popped his supercharge. They haven't really managed to get anything done. Very low on HP is Lucas Tank, but no one else is really dying on the side of SKEDDA. They finally managed to finish off Warp here thanks to Brugman, and now it's all crumbling down. It's all over, Peter. They just simply collapsed on them on the point, and French team was holding as best as they could, and eventually the dam broke. And that's all it took. 3-1 is now SKEDDA leading over the French team, and that glimpse of a possible victory on Process is slowly fading away for the French team with only 3 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock.
I really thought it was going to be a fail post when I saw both soldiers spend literally the entire Uber just spamming the sentry from long range and not killing it. That was a really bad start to it, but eventually they just piled on to the point. I could swear like QB or Nevo was literally standing on the point as it capped out, but I guess he just barely got inched off or something. Yeah, now it's going to be 3 minutes to get 2 rounds. Good luck with that, Forfence.
Yeah, well, QB, however, he's still believing. He still believes this, and the entire French team is just coming in and cleaning up shop, focusing Mac, using the soldiers as a distraction, and now it's a complete wipe here on the middle leader. They're all dead and visiting a respawn queue, and that should give French team a massive advantage and keep themselves alive in this game. They're pushing on the second right now. They're trying to cap it as fast as possible. Patchouli almost at 100%. They should not let off the gas. They need to keep going forward because they really don't have that much time to waste at the moment. They're pushing in for the lobby area right now. They're looking in. No one is really able to set up any defense. Nevo immediately getting his Uber popped on him, pushing in forward, blocking people away from spawn, trying to get on the point to get some cap time, but there's a few players still in the lobby. They're trying to block him out of there. Jordy's just gonna keep switching to make sure that they're fully health. And there's so much damage now. The Uber has long gone, and then Brugman gonna go down. QB as well with only Nevo D-Mule. Scratch the last name off the board as well, as Patchouli's just unable to keep up with the absolute amount of damage.
No, he can't leave.
Oh my god, they're fighting. Patchouli with the
they get it!
And they do get the point! Back alone, and Lucas Stank were not able to seal the deal. They were not able to hold his offense as 2-on-2. And with Nevo being and playing as well as he does, I don't think there was going to go any other way. French are keeping themselves in this game, Peter. 2 minutes left.
It's doable. That's actually doable. I didn't think it was going to be possible. I thought SKEDDA was just going to take it down. Instead, they just all suicided in the last mid and got completely wrecked. Just rolled over, and now it's actually possible here. They could stay on last, build a sentry or whatever. They decide not to do that. I like this. I like taking a mid fight and then just basically going for the enemy medic. That's usually the easiest way to ensure that the game slows down. But let's see. They're just going to take it slow so far.
Whoa, but Warp coming in onto Patchouli, getting denied by Nevo. And now we're pushing, they're taking down 2, the third one goes down as well. Nevo is on the offensive, he's playing an absolute amazing game right now, going on to Lucas tank. Lucas is down 2, and now only Mac and Jordy alive. They're going on the second point, they need to finish off middle though, I forgot about this. Max is gonna go down, but what does it matter if the middle is still not being capped? Now Nevo needs to go all the way back, only 1 minute left on the clock. That's gonna delay them so badly. QB already on the point, so is Deli, and Patchouli healing them up. They're gonna have that uber charge advantage, Beater. Mac has not even yet respawned. They're gonna start capping second bite. Really, what they need to do is just keep pressing that forward button. This is absolutely doable. 45 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, this is... I can't believe they're actually gonna have a chance to draw this. That's crazy. That's such a huge throw by SKEDDA to actually allow this to even come close to happening. But we still have one more push come in here. This is going to be for the marbles, for the map here. It needs to work out. Syndicon has gone down immediately. Bootman's going to clear out the bunker. At least going to try. Medics is up there on the heavy. It's still Sentry. And actually, Warp gets taken down there by a nice pipe. And now they're just going to try to put pressure onto the point, but the Stiggies are still there. The heavy is still going strong. And I think it's just going to be barely not enough here. SKEDDA gonna inch it out. It is not over yet. It is Nevo. He is just hiding in a corner. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be a crit actually. I hadn't even seen that, but no, the heavy is too much. It was a valiant effort. I can't believe that was
that was closer than either of us really thought. I really thought that the French have it in them, but just something crumbled there at the very end. You know, French team just like, I think what we really need to give credit for that last defense on the SKEDDA team is Lucas. Because all he was focused on is not going for kills, not going for damage. The only thing that was on his mind is to put sticks on the point. That's all he was doing for the remaining like 30 seconds on the clock. That's basically it. And it has worked because no one was able to step a foot on that point. You know, French team had the entire team ready to step on, but they couldn't because that basically meant they would die, and they simply could not do it. Lucas saving the team in that particular moment. You know, that crit was basically just to have a quick Uber or something to pop. But with that was just basically rubbing salt in the wound at the very end. I think it's just a very disappointing for the French team. I think they're just kind of feeling probably quite a bit down, but we have to give them credit for trying because this was absolutely as close as it could get. We're gonna take a look at the logs, Beater. What did the logs tell us?
That tells us that Nevo did a lot of damage.
Yep.
Yeah, top damaging over Lucas and Deli. That's pretty rare to see. I feel like both Deli and Lucas are like your very normal, just always top damage demos, and the fact that he, actually out damaged both of them tells me a lot. He did well there. And let's see. Okay, it's actually Jordy that's getting pocket heals. So maybe he is the pocket. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, yeah, I guess I learned something. Please tell me that Bootman at least he got pocket heals. Well, he got 1% more than Timur.
that calls it, man. That means
I'll take
everything.
it. I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Nevo playing an amazing game so far. I mean, we've seen him on LAN last week, and he's absolutely been slaying everyone. You know, he's just been on all the casters' lips whenever French team was playing. And now, once again, he's showing that he is no slouch. He can play just as well online as he can play offline. And it really shows. I mean, every single time Nevo was involved in a push or making a play, he was making it work. He was putting in the work. He was pulling his weight and the rest of his team. And that really shows in both logs and, generally speaking, the fact that the French team was able to get those 2 points in against SKEDDA's 3. However, you know, the history is history now. 3-2, SKEDDA inches their way in. Barely, though. And now we're going to Granary with another 5 CP map. And once again, we're going to be looking at both teams. And it's SKEDDA's pick this time, as Process was Frenchies. So, I don't know, Peter. What do you think is going to happen here? Do you think we're going to be up for another very close match? Or is it just going to be SKEDDA trying to basically close shop early?
I think it's going to be pretty close once again. I feel like this is very closely matched. If you just look at the logs, actually, I just looked this over. It's 70 to 71 kills. It's 33 to 34,000 damage. It's 7 charges to 7. Oh, sorry, 6 charges to 7, but one of them was that crits at the very end. It's 2 drops to 2. It's 16 caps to 15. It's 3 mid-fights to 3 mid-fights. So, yeah, it doesn't get much closer than that. And So it just goes to show you that it was very close overall, even if like a lot of that momentum came for the Frenchies in the very last 2 rounds. But still, like it is very close, and I don't think we should ever write them off here. I will point out that that process was the Frenchies' picks, map pick. So logically, SKEDDA should be better here on Granary. I think they look pretty good on it in the grand finals on land on Granary. Like that was a really good game, right? So and they look strong.
It's kind of like how the theme of this season has really been, like all the teams kind of coming in quite close. Like I haven't really seen many games where one team would just take a clear victory over the other. I mean, maybe some maps, sure, but not overall games. So I'm really hoping that the French team is going to pick themselves up, you know, get that motivation back, and then give SKEDDA a run for their money, because that last game was as close as it could get. I think we were looking at the golden cap there, and French team could very easily get it. It's just at the very end they lacked that little bit of luck that would push them over and, you know, lead to a golden cap situation. But now they're going to be looking at an equalizer here on the Granary, and it still could be anyone's game. Like I said, you know, I think my brain tells me it's going to be SKEDDA, right? You know, they have everything in check. However, my heart tells me it's the French team that's going to take this one.
Yeah, hear me out for my put on your conspiracy goggles or whatever. No, not conspiracy goggles, but like your big brain tactics, or like you can see the future thing caps, whatever those looks like, right? SKEDDA's mental is broken. They almost won and they just got scared and then just stopped playing proper TF2. And I think they know that if that had gone any longer, they would have lost that for sure. So now the fact that the map actually, you know, we have a second map, they're not going to be able to fix that mental in time. So I think they're just definitely going to lose this. And like the Frenchies, they have just unlocked something. They just realized that if they just play like fearlessly and actually push in very aggressively, they're going to get picks, they're going to do well, and they're just going to be able to take this map in pretty comfortable fashion. So so what do you say? Is my big brain prediction maybe a little bit? How did I do?
I mean, you're stretching it a little bit far, but let's. I'm gonna choose to believe you for now and see that the French do win this map. We're gonna be watching a third one today.
Yeah.
Let's all believe. Let's give the Frenchies a little bit of extra credit and a little bit of extra motivation from ourselves to make a show for us, because I do think that they have the skills and they have the tactics and they have a team comp. Like they have everything, all the building blocks, all the Lego pieces in place. They just need to put them together. You know, build something big.
Yep, absolutely, and yeah, I want to believe that's the real thing here. So we're actually going live. It looks like as both teams have readied up. We're gonna roll out to mid. Let's see if there's any shenanigans going on. I don't see any fast rollouts or anything like that from the soldiers, where they just you can get in here really quickly, but it's just gonna be your good old demos to mid first. And we've seen Lucas absolutely bully some demo men on this map.
Yeah, you can see already just putting some sticks on the health pack area, so Delhi would just have to blow them away. And now we're back to the meat and potatoes of this game, mid-fight here. A lot of damage being exchanged here, coming in, Rujman taking down Af, and now being followed up by a couple of kills from SKEDDA here. Manix taking down Dino with a few pistol shots. Kills are falling left and right here, Peter, and no one can really capitalize on this. I think both teams are just slowly running out of steam here on mid-fight. It seems that SKEDDA is coming out on top on this one, but Rujman, Daly jumping in right now. They're trying to bully the enemy team out. They're locking down Lucas' tank, and QB's gonna seal the deal on that one, and that is an absolutely excellent play, just blocking out Lucas from getting back to where it's safe, and then just finishing him off like that. Man, it just kind of makes me feel like I watched something on live TV.
This is gonna just be a yard hold here. They might actually get pushed out of it because the spawners are not in there. Yeah, look at that. 4 fence. They are just already taking the long way around. Actually, Delhi. Oh no, they put in here, but they forgot to grab. This is a disaster. The soldier better get through before it's out. Okay, he's gonna get Pajula to pop. Actually, he probably didn't need to, but you know, ping is a thing. On land, he probably would have held on to that a little bit longer. So both Ubers are gone, but SKEDDA has also lost 3 players to the 1 here. And Lucas does get a nice little double sticky trap there. That's going to equal things up a bit, but they still might just get rolled over here as the Frenchies. They're going to come in here, but the spawners, there's one more spawner here, and then they're going to be very low.
Yeah, it looks like Patchouli still moving in with the team. It's Nevo coming in, and it finally works somehow. Zeno staying on the point long enough, helping Nevo, and then finishing up the last player that was alive. Basically sealing the deal, and just like that, with just 2 players extra, including Patchouli with the 3rd one. That was enough, Peter. That was enough. They got themselves the 1st point, and that's again going into the mental.
It's broken. They can just keep going like this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty damn sure. Yeah, they just know if they have a slight advantage, they can just keep on going, and they're gonna overpower them. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it, no matter how crazy it was. All right, because so far I'm looking like a genius.
Let's hope that it continues, but we're back in the middle of the fight right now. Brugman Dinu going huge here, taking down App, and Manic's also going to be followed up as QB goes going really deep. They drop down a few more players. Now Lucas only has Mac to help him out in the situation. They just decided to abandon this middle point. They lost far too many players. Delhi is still hot on their heels, trying to lock down that shutter to the 2nd point. And now Patchouli rejoining the team, leaving Dimu on that middle point. Coming in as Nevo, he's shown us already what he can do, and he's unafraid of the opposition. Lucas is still trying to put out some kind of defense, some kind of delay to let the rest of the SKEDDA team rejoin and push out those pesky Frenchies out of their 2nd point. But it seems that, you know, they're just gonna waste a lot of time. I mean, Lucas playing a good game, you know, delaying them as much as he can. But at the same time, Frenchie's now just reunited, gonna move in through the secret area, through the little path on the side. And then Patchouli 100% Uber charge in tow, going up. Gonna get themselves a nice position, getting caught off guard here by Warped. He's gonna see them and call out that there is an entire French infestation here on the side, and they should probably be looking to the side instead of on the point at the moment.
Yeah, it's just the entire team except for Delhi. Delhi's just on his lonesome, just holding this one big door. And I think that's a pretty standard setup, because Demo Man can't really just hold this door all on his own, no problem. But I would kind of be interested to see some tactics maybe from team trying to overwhelm like this one Demo Man here who's just here alone. You can kind of almost sack like a soldier and then just have a scout plus forward him or something. Like that might just be worth it. But the soldiers are gonna try and come in here. Brugman gets taken down, and yeah, it's a decent try here. Timur was not in a position or had the health to really go for a play himself. And now is the double scout chariot. They're trying to maybe get a peek out through this one big door, unable to do so in ramp room, and they're just gonna slow it down once again. But yeah, this is a pretty tight area. So it's very easy to get spammed out. So it feels quite uncomfortable and cramped for both teams here in a way.
It's hard to kind of get a good flank going on, and you can see once again the Frenchies are pushing in from the side and going to be looking into getting the height advantage. Warp has not been looking. He's being caught off guard here, but he's putting a lot of damage. Now Dimu going in, getting a nice position there on the pillar, but he's unable to really do anything with it. But sneaking through. I don't think anyone noticed him, only the scout at the very last moment. He's just going to start putting up some pressure on the enemy team. Oh, and a huge jump and a kill of the Warped. He's still alive. He's still distracting the enemy team, going for Mac. He's finally going to go down, but it's buying his team enough time to get that 2nd point locked out without using the Uber charge. Brugman.
Yeah, just sneaking behind them and doing so much work, taking all that time to get taken down while still trading. Really great job by him. That was just pure positioning, and the Frenchies won out here. They're going to send him to Mool. He's basically alone, not really close to anyone. QB was waiting for an arrow. He's going to find a sticky instead. Dimul finally jumps in. Mac was basically in spawn, so unable to get him. It's a scout and a soldier down. You can definitely hold the 2nd point with just a demo man and a soldier. It's kind of fine, but yeah, Brugman playing very far forward up top. It's pretty risky, and he's gonna pay for it with his life. And now they might just get pushed back. They might have to use the Uber to hold on to the 2nd point.
Yeah, I think it would be the worst, but, you know, considering how tight and narrow this area is, as you mentioned, you know, it's going to be very easy for Mac to just get out and not use his Uber charge. And there's a bit of a scrap fight going on basically everywhere. There's Warp still in the secret area, still kind of like protecting it. You know, he's the designated defense guard. But looks like the French team is slowly getting pushed out of this position. You know, they lost the mule, and then that is going to slow them down a little bit on the offensive. They're still trying to hold on to this, and as you can see, After just kind of inching his way forward, just keep touching the point, making sure that the French team cannot rest easy. Nevo now following up. Delhi as well, they're pushing in forward. SKEDDA's pushing out of this point. They're really not willing to risk it and drop the Uber charge if they can help it. And then, oh, Manix on the sniper, taking down Evo. And now French team is falling back without that one player who is just so crucial for their team. They're just not really going to take the risk on this one, and they're just happy with their second point for the time being, at least until Evo joins them again. Yeah,
Manix going to push up here, see if he can get anything. Just being a little bit opportunistic here. I think he just now sees the writing on the wall and says, nah, can't really do it. And Evo has done the most obvious thing in the entire universe. The Frenchman has gone spy after dying. Alright, like this is just Div 6 kind of move. And yeah, we'll see if it works. I think he just got hit by a rocket. I'm not sure if they noticed. Okay. Maybe they assumed they noticed.
Still around, he's now cloaking in, opening up the shutter to let him through, and now Nevo's getting into the position. He still has a lot of time. It seems that Demule and Brugman are trying to distract the enemy team. They do take down Warp thanks to Deli. Now it just shows that they moving forward.
They actually dropped back there. Just a combination of fire with the spy, and they're just going to completely crush them. Wow, that spy play could not have worked out better. He sapped the sentry gun, basically forfeiting the med pick. But he still hit 2 pistol shots, and then I think it was the demo man, Deli, just hit a pipe or a sticky or something, and Mac dropped. And there we go. Mental is broken. 2-0 here for the Frenchies.
Mental is broken, Peter, and you know that is actually really huge for the French team. You know they are extending that advantage that they had. They gave themselves a bit more breathing room. There's 20 minutes left on the clock, so they still have to be a bit more careful, but they at least can breathe a little easy. And now SKEDDA, with losing out 2 points, they're gonna start taking some risks. They're gonna have to, because otherwise it's just going to go all the way to round 3, and that's not something they want. They just want to seal the deal for this one. Once again, we're back to Metal here, Peter, jumping in quite aggressively is Jordy, followed by After. The Mule is going to go on the upper.
It's a clown flower. It's going to be a classic rover trade here, but Lucas is so far forward. Actually, it's a nice pipe. He is getting out alive as well. So I think it's just going to be a full-on chase here, as you know they want to get Patchouli, and yeah, they have the manpower.
Exchange. Deli's been working on the medic this entire time, and Mac being in the wide open, he just couldn't stay alive long enough. Now it looks like SKEDDA's gonna try to get that middle point, almost getting it, but looks like no, his AF is gonna go down thanks to QB, who is just not letting off the gas. Now he's looking for the demo man. Lucas Tang, a bit of a trouble there, but looks like not. It's the rest of the SKEDDA team at the shutter at the second point, so they're just gonna fall back here. QB back to the team, get that point finished off for the team. However, what AF's done actually is delayed French team from capping this point quickly. You know, having so much cap time, they really need to like get that first done and then start capping their own, giving SKEDDA a lot of time to start building up. And you can see already there's a sentry gun all the way on last by Manix. They're not really willing to risk it on the second point even.
Yeah, they have Jordy hiding on spy. Lucas with his little sticky traps in the little alarm thing takes down a soldier. So Jordy now just has to play it slow. Just sitting on this boiler. You can climb up on the boiler. You can see Deli sitting on it right now, so Jordy can't get up there. And Patchouli, he is in the corner, just the actual corner. So it's going to be very difficult. And they all almost just randomly hit a sticky on Jordy as well.
And Jordy's kind of on the timer, you know. The longer he waits, the more difficult it's going to get for him to just stay hidden and not spotted. I don't think they know about it yet. Brugman is jumping and bumping into Jordy this entire time, but they're just completely unknown that he's actually there. He's waiting for a good opportunity. Patchouli's just back against the wall. I think they're sensing that there's a spy out there, and that's why they're just playing really, really safe. Maybe they should just spam a little bit. Jordy taking a bit of splash damage there. Oh, they found him. And now it's just the chase is on. Jordy's not going to be able to stay alive much longer. No, he does. He's still alive somehow. Finally getting finished off here by Nevo. And yeah, all this time has just basically been wasted, but neither team really trying to make a kind of a play, you know, go for a push, take a risk, and it seems that we're a bit of a stalemate, which again, it's just comfortable for the French team. They're not really moving anywhere. Once again, they're knocking at the last point, but the sentry gun goes down thanks to the Mule. And Af, however, on the sniper, he has that top position as well as secured, which means he's going to be able to kind of like get people out. However, Patchouli pops the Uber charge first, and very quickly, that sniper is going to be inconsequential this entire push. Now it's just all on the side of the French to push it. It seems that SKEDDA is just simply not going to push out. They're happy with defending, and they're going to force French out first. It seems that the French are getting ready to get in position, but there's just that so much defense. Look at this, Peter.
Yeah, all right. Did you notice? Okay, actually, the demo man went down here, but did you notice how many the sentry gun got? Oh my god, I can't talk about this. They're just getting completely plowed down. They might just even get forced here as Pachuli's in a situation where he can just get spammed. And yeah, they're gonna Uber in here to block the second point. As yeah, Mac, he's just holding on to it. Okay, there you go. Finally pops it. Af, okay, Minix, sorry, has switched off of Engineer. I was trying to figure out how many revenge crits he had. I think he only had 1 or 2, but yeah, it's always worth keeping an eye on. As it's just a 2-man advantage right now. I think SKEDDA is just going to push off of this. But it is difficult to get through this choke, and Af just gets launched into the air and just picked off. And Medic's going to find the same fate on the other side of the flank. And somehow, these small advantages that SKEDDA was pushing on before, they're just not working out anymore. And okay, maybe it has something to do with the fact that, I think, is this Jordy? Yeah, Jordy has a banner on, so he can't really jump. But production, can you let me know how big of a percentage Jordy has built on this banner? 77%, thank you. Alright, I can't see it in my HUD. But he's actually pretty close to having it.
Yeah, and look at this. The entire French team is just getting crashed against the waves here of SKEDDA's team. Lucas Dang and Warp gonna go down, but Jordy does survive. That banner is definitely gonna go help out the team, you know, the buff banner. It's definitely helpful, especially if you just really want to break a hold that the French team is putting up. You know, now they're gonna get some reinforcements. Nevo's still quite aggressive, but truly wide open as well. So they're just trying to hold that entire SKEDDA team around the shutter area. You can see Brugeman on the flank as well, trying to put up some damage on the team, just holding them back even further. And it's just working out. I mean, French are just kind of happy to keep this situation going on forever. They're essentially bleeding the clock at the moment. They're, you know, all you need is 1 point advantage to win the map. And that's all they're doing right now. They're just slowing down SKEDDA. SKEDDA's still unwilling to make any risks, and I believe that they should start making some, because otherwise they're just going to be stuck on their last and their second this entire game. Now, moving in is Deli on the point. He sees some opposition, but he's just, you know, he's still being healed by Patchouli. Patchouli's quite safe and sound with most of his team around him. DMule and QB going for flank right now. Deli getting pushed out. They didn't quite manage to get the health back, and that's just going to mean that he's going to have to go take the walk of shame around. Nevo getting caught quite a lot of damage on him as well. Menix here, Af holding forward. Lucas Stang locking down the point. Again, both teams are so close to one another, but no one really wants to make a play.
Yeah. Okay, I will just point out, so we have this buff banner that's just about built here. I think he just got it now, like with all this damage. It's very difficult to build. It takes a really long time. It has no passive buff. However, once you pop the buff banner, it is by far the strongest banner. So it is not something. There we go.
Uber's down. Peter, look what's happening. They're cleaning up the house. Only Evo and QB alive. Jordy and Lucas Stang in, just cleaning up the entire opposition. That banner could not have been popped at a better moment. They just wanted that Uber charge out, and once it was out, they just popped it, and that was it. Second point still in the hands of SKEDDA, but you can see QB is just simply hiding away. He's gonna go for a backup, and I think Af knows about it. He's looking for the scout, just can't find it. Jordy all the way back with
I think he's just going for the medic to pick him up. Yeah. Like,
it's just QB though. Look at his positioning. He's still patient, waiting. He's not gonna make a play. I think the French team is just gonna try to go the entire SKEDDA team away. Medix is the last one, and he's just gone now. So what? QB's gonna wait for the middle to get attacked. Nobody from SKEDDA even knows about him.
Yeah, like Nevo was also playing behind, and then they dealt with him. So I think they figured that was that, but it was not. He's gonna go on to the point now. And there's just no one back here to deal with him.
Absolutely insane. Peter, what are we looking at? SKEDDA is so far away. QB's gonna be able to go all the way to last. There's nothing that SKEDDA can do about this. QB's just gonna run free. Home run for him. He's just standing on the point. It's all just but it's not gonna be enough. The third point goes to the way to French, and SKEDDA have nothing in response.
Dude, my crazy theory is actually true. They're just broken. That was a really patient play there from QB. He timed it perfectly. And just the fact that no one had died from SKEDDA early on either just meant that there were no respawners or anything to deal with them.
And I think that was perfectly played. I think that, you know, I just wish I could understand French and listen in on the comms, like what was going through there. Like QB just waiting. It's like, don't kill anyone. Just bait them in. Do not kill anyone. Let them start capping and protected. Like, buy me time. And that was enough. that was just enough, and they got themselves the advantage is even bigger now. 30 minutes left on the clock, and now SKEDDA wants it. Now we're seeing SKEDDA really pissed off at this attempt. They're moving in, but they're losing Orc and Jordy, Patchouli, Nevo and QB going in quite forward, taking down those kills, and now they're moving in with the advantage that they got. Lucas Tank is now kind of stuck, getting chased by Deli now. He needs to get out of this situation. Mac is in a bit of a trouble as well, only having the 2 scouts and the demo next to him, but they're gonna have to forfeit this middle point. QB's gonna cap it out, and the French are not letting off the gas beater.
Yeah, it's they've sent Timul in behind. It's going to be pretty difficult to deal with him, and I really like that they started pressuring before they got all the respawns in there. I don't think Timul's going to achieve a whole lot. Yeah, one. It's a nice little rocket there. It's going to take him down. It was a valiant effort. I think they wanted to get more people through, but when you do that kind of pressure, it's actually pretty likely that you get a scout and a soldier pass, or you even pick off the demo man, because he's just spamming one door, you come out the other, and you take him down. He has to play close, but okay, Uber's actually come in here, and it's going to be quite a better pop here for Patchouli. Deli is still in it. I don't think he's going to be able to bounce the medic around. Actually, Mac, he does take a little bit of damage there, so actually almost gets caught in. He needs some spam as well. He's on 50 HP. This would be prime time opportunity for a soldier to come bombing in, and Timul's going to do just that, but on the other side, not going for the medic, and Warp holds the flank strong, denies him completely, and we might just see SKEDDA send in another counter sack here. They have so much space to do it and a lot of health. Warped just want to do it, I guess. Just going to take down Af. I think they lose Lucas as well. Oh my god, I don't understand going forward like this if you're not going to send a soldier, because they have just put themselves in a terrible position here. They might take down the Demo Man, really nice bombing there from Warp, but that's going to only mildly save the situation here. They're going to have to retreat all the way back to last. There's no way they can stay in on second.
No, absolutely not. They have to go back. They have to start putting up defenses again, but this is not really what they need right now. They have 10 minutes left on the clock, and they are down 3 points. They really need to start doing something about this, because, you know, they had a very aggressive initial push, and they immediately getting punished by French team, and then basically throwing players left, right, and center, and the French team just gonna take those kills. Like, they're not just gonna let them through and attack Patchouli. They're just gonna deny them completely, and this is just off of that. You know, SKEDDA making those mistakes, it's just gonna work out. Look, they do pick up Deli though. Nice. Trapped by Lucas Tank, but Uber's coming out. They're chasing down Patchouli. Patchouli's still holding strong, milking that Uber charge. Alf is unable to secure any kills. Finally, Patchouli pops the Uber charge in the last possible second. Nevo's gonna finish up the job. A lot of players are down for the French team, however, they're just trying to use this as best as they can. Here comes Jordy from the flank, and he was waiting for that moment. But the last
with the back end,
protected once again. He fooled even me, and they do finally finish it off. 4 points to 0, Peter. You were right all along. Why did I doubt you?
Yeah, I can't believe it myself. That is actually just this one-sided. It's just they keep outplaying them super hard, and it's just night and day. And it's so weird because this was SKEDDA's map pick. It's just the exact opposite of what you would expect to happen, and yeah, it's just the momentum from the last map seems to have just carried over perfectly here as the Frenchies are just playing out of their mind. Like SKEDDA, they're fully in their own heads. And at this point, it's basically too late to do anything. There's still 10 minutes remaining in the map, so you can definitely stabilize. We've seen how that can actually pay off in the next map, right? So everything to play for in that regard, but still, Patchouli goes down with the price being basically everyone else on SKEDDA.
Yeah, as only Medic's alive, he's taking a scrap fight here with QB, but nah, he's gonna get cleaned up, and that is the entire team down for the count for SKEDDA. And only paying with Brugman and Patchouli. Now, both medics have gone down, so Ubers are about equal. 10 minutes left, and I think that French just really want to run this one home. They really want to get that 5th point and just kind of prove the point that they are in this to win this. Like, they are not screwing around. They are not going to be underestimated, and they're just playing with an absolute amazing show for us. And just kind of finishing off a lot of, like, SKEDDA team. You know, during the LAN, they didn't get that far in the tournament, right? And granted, they only had half a team, but they're playing out of their mind right now, and it really shows.
They're trying to push out here, and you know why? They have a crit screen. Mac is on crits, so they want to not use out of one of these tiny doors, but it looks like they're not going to be able to. But I don't think they've realized this yet. But let's keep an eye on Lucas here, as this crit screen's about to come in.
god, I'm just watching it right now, but I think they're just wasting time. I mean, Patchouli may be caught off guard. Moving in from the flank is Mac. Actually, they're gonna get upstairs, but they're getting caught off guard here by the Mew. It's just gonna delay them a little bit, but now they probably noticed this, and Jordy's putting some rockets in the enemy team, but they're just dodging them left, right, and center. None of them are connecting. And now Patchouli finally, after milking this, they're pushing in forward, launching the sky as Nevo, slowing them down a little bit, but they're just trying to use the supercharge as much as possible. SKEDDA's coming from behind now, trying to lock him out. Jordy going huge, but getting denied completely. And now coming in for Patchouli as well as the entire team. They do manage to finish off the attackers, but only the Mule was alive. And SKEDDA is safe and sound. They managed to stabilize them. They're pushing onto middle. They also managed to make Max stay alive, and that is even bigger. He's still gonna have that Kritzkrieg in tow.
Yeah, he didn't get to steal the Medigun, unfortunately for him. Dimul is behind. Okay, I think he's been spotted. Yeah, there we go. He's still alive. Actually doing a lot of damage. People are gonna come in here. Yeah, timed that perfectly. They're gonna hold on to the second point. Dimul, he didn't go for a solo play. He just played it along with his team. Really simple stuff. Worked out really well for him. Ruben's kind of through already. And it just gets murdered here. But Mac has also gone down, so this was all worth it in the end. There's going to be... Okay, they're going to keep playing forward here.
Yeah, they really want to go for Patchouli right now. You can see App trying to get that health back, just unfortunately respawn as he left the position. He's going to get cleaned up here by Nevo, who is just, again, just basically sticking on the medic, and that's all it needs to do. That's all he needs to do. You know, Patchouli is just such a tasty target for SKEDDA that Nevo's just picking out kills left, right, and center. And now they're pushing on the second once again. 7 minutes left on the clock. I'm just gonna keep repeating this. This is really looking bad for SKEDDA. They are looking to make some plays, but Patchouli with 100% Uber charge. Mac finally back on the Uber. It's just not going to really go well for them. And yeah, it's just very sketchy for SKEDDA, for lack of a better word. You know, they're already on capping the second point. Oh my god, they're pushing on to last already, Peter. Nevo's closing in on the point. He's gonna get on it. Avs fighting, but Deli, huge job. Tried to deny Lucas Tank. He's gonna get denied himself, but there's just picks up QB and Nevo. That's enough to get the point done. And 5-0 wash, Peter.
Absolute scenes out here as just dominant map 2 coming out on full fence. I don't know what to expect now going in. We have Snakewater. Snakewater is a map you can absolutely slow down. We have seen this time and time again. And that might be what we're in store for here. Like a very slow Snakewater map where they just try to really take any momentum out of it, because good God, that was brutal. 5-0, 2 back caps. Yeah, Kritzkrieg. Oh, actually, they won the one Kritzkrieg fight that they did, but yeah,
not because of the Kritzkrieg.
Not really. No, it was a great flank that, but they didn't lose anything because of the Kritzkrieg. The Kritzkrieg was absolute trash. Don't get me wrong. It was like 5 rockets spammed at a long distance, and they just literally looked at them and dodged. So.
Pretty much. I mean, I was like, yeah, it was just basically not connecting any of the rockets, and you know how Kritzkrieg works. Like, even if you get hit by an edge of the blast, that is full damage for you, and it simply wasn't enough. And it basically, I'm just stunned right now. I'm like lack of words at the moment, Peter, because I really did not think that the Frenchies are going to win, but they pulled through. I'm going to look at the logs right now. And once again, QB and Nevo just topping the charts. This time, QB actually getting the top spot with 20 kills to 16 for Nevo. But Nevo has a lot of assists under his belt. You can see that the damage is very close, actually still pretty high. Lucas Tank, most damage here for SKEDDA team, but ultimately, it didn't really matter at all.
Yeah, it's just a team effort kind of outplaying them, because if you look at the damage and the kills, like SKEDDA is behind with 5 kills, and they actually have more damage than Forfence. And then you can just see mid-fights 5-0, caps 1-16. That's nuts. That's such a big difference. When you imagine doing more damage than your opponents and getting 1-16 capped. That's crazy. Don't win a single mid-fight. It's just they're getting outplayed, plain and simple. It's not like they're not hitting their shots. They're just not keeping track of the flank. They're not playing it well. They're not retreating fast enough. They're overextending, getting picked off, that kind of stuff. It is just an absolute clinic right now. And Forfence, they're just riding high, basically off of that momentum of the first map. And it's kind of crazy that SKEDDA has never been able to stop it.
Yeah, like they had nothing. Like, I don't think there was a single time that SKEDDA was on the French's last. They just had nothing in response to whatever France had to offer, and whatever France was putting down, they were not picking up. So that's basically the story of Granary, and we're gonna move to Snakewater. Once again, it's a 5 CP map. This is the decider, so neither team really picked this map out of their own volition. You know, it's just been picked up through the pick and ban phase, but it's definitely gonna be interesting. You know, looking at the medics once again. I mean, this time around, you can see that. Just about as close. I mean, it's a very close match in a way, but the score tells us the difference. You know, like both Patchouli and Mag very close in the heals. Actually, Mag getting a bit more heals than Patchouli did, but also has dropped once. He also ran 2 crit streaks and had less medigun pops. You know, it's just kind of shows the story that, you know, both medics are very close in terms of skill, but it is a team effort, like you said. Like, you need a whole team pulling through, and even if everyone is closely matched, if you don't have the strats, if you don't have the good plays, and that amazing backup by QB, like, you know, they've been at the 2 points for a long time, and once they get that backup, that's where it all started going very wrong for SKEDDA. Like, I think that's when that moment, like, you could kind of hear the vein popping in their head, and then just like that's all just fell apart like a stack of cards, you know?
Yeah, it definitely felt like it was over at that point. Like surely you can be behind in a map and it's still a game, but after that back cap, it just felt like it wasn't a game anymore. It was just a matter of time before it went over. But are we just gonna continue to see just the momentum carry on here on Snakewater? I said it before, I'll say it again. Snakewater is good for stalemates. Basically, you can just get pushed back to your own last, and you can just take a 5-minute breather very often. We've seen both of these teams do a lot of pushing out of last. When you have an Ubrad or like a 3-man advantage, something like that, it might just be that SKEDDA just goes, okay, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're just going to reset. We don't care. It just really annoy Forfans because Forfans seem to enjoy actually pushing and playing advantages in that kind of dynamic TF2. If you just take them out of their comfort zone, just play perma, sniper, and heavy and sentry gun on last, maybe you just kind of take them out of it, make them not enjoy the game for 15 minutes, and then you can just eventually edge out a round and take it that way. At least that would be my initial suggestion. I know both SKEDDA isn't exactly that type of team, but if you want to win, you just kind of have to mix it up and try to play to your opponent's weaknesses as well as your own strengths, you know?
And, you know, at the same time, SKEDDA has a bit of a bigger chip on their shoulder. You know, they're, again, coming back from the LAN, getting that 2nd place, which is not insignificant. You know, they only lost out to New Panther in the end. They had an amazing last day where they had to fight basically 3 times in a row on the stage to get to the finals. And then, unfortunately, losing out to New Panther. But, you know, they have something to prove. They have some successes under their belt, and they had a pretty decent season so far. And, you know, for them to kind of get knocked out at the stage, I think it would be the most disheartening thing. So this being them last possible stage, you know, they really want to make this work. And they have things to prove. They have probably a little bit more to lose in terms of, like, you know, rep than the French team. And the French team just coming in. And again, we're talking about them in the beginning of the game. We didn't really think that they're just gonna do it as well as they did, but they are doing it, and they are proving time and time again they have what it takes to go further in this stage. So we're gonna be looking at the final map of today, the decider of who actually will advance to the next stage of the competition, Peter. And we're gonna be looking at the demos, who is faster. Looks like it's gonna be Lucas Tank this time.
Yeah, and you know, if you want to come back in this game, the first thing you got to do is win a mid fight. They won 0 last map. Let's see if they can win 1 right now. And Bootman's going to go into the enemy kitchen just right off the bat, at least zone that off quite a bit. And Dumoul's going to take the high ground pretty aggressive. Meanwhile, Jordy's actually behind lines. We're actually going to trade up with the Eagle there. That's pretty decent as Matt gets jumped, but he gets saved as well. And this is now a 4-on-4 fight. I think it's just going to be ready for round 2, basically. We're not done yet, old man.
They're still fighting this. Patchouli is wide open, however, losing out QB. Now Bergman's gonna have to fall back to protect, but Patchouli in a lot of trouble, getting juggled by Lucas, and that's gonna be it for the medic, giving Mac a huge advantage. SKEDDA now, after this talk, after this break, they talk things through, and they know what they're doing. They're pushing in, and finally they're winning themselves the middle fight. They're gonna go straight on to second. There's nobody there from the French team. They're already on last, setting up, and that's what you said. You know, it's a very stalemated kind of map. Nevo with a level 2 sentry already on to last. I think the French team is just gonna be trying to hold this as long as possible, but Mac with a 100% uber charge, they're not gonna waste any time. They're gonna start pushing through the shutter probably. No, they're still holding in the middle, trying to decide which part of the map is gonna be more sufficient for them. And that sentry gun being hidden, it's not gonna provide any defense. I mean, the Uber is popped immediately. They're going on the point. The Mule is going under the flank, trying to stay in the air, avoid some of the damage coming their way. The entire SKEDDA team is circling around this last point, but now jumping in finally is Bridgman. QB's on the point right now. Nevo on the heavy weapons guy trying to clean up some people, but Mac, Lucas, and Medic's still alive. Medic's gonna go finally down. Deli's going absolutely huge here. Lucas, last man standing. This is not gonna be enough, and now it's just Mac running away. Like,
he could get caught here as well if
yeah,
they jump him really aggressively. Ooh, okay, no one's
chasing. But nah, Mac's not gonna be able to do anything in this situation, and without anyone to heal either, that entire Uber advantage is gonna now belong to Patchouli.
Yeah, really tragic. Yeah, that was the big opportunity to come back in this game and make a statement round, but immediately they just find that that's not going to be the case. Jordy actually doing so much work here. Oh my god, goes 1-on-2, takes down the entire flank on his own. He is now just putting pressure onto the point and just pulling everyone back. He is so annoying. Like, Jordy is the most annoying person in the entire universe right now, if you're asking for offense. Like, look at this position that they're in. This is so bad for them, and he's still down there.
Yeah, he's still drawing attention. Lucas, the Mule there, Brugman joining. That's 2 soldiers off. I mean, Jordy does go down, but taking away basically a lot of attention from the French team, slowing them down, getting Mac that crucial time to build the Uber charge. You know, for the price of a soldier and not really losing out anything, any position. I think it's an exchange that SKEDDA would take any day. But now French team is pushing it forward. And they're looks like they decided against it. I mean, they were pushing forward. But seeing that, you know, there's so much defense coming out of Lucas, you know, Lucas feeling himself a little bit more. He's showing up a little bit more this game, I think.
Yeah, he hasn't really had a bad map either, but yeah. Just not getting caught out a bunch is already a really good start. As we see both soldiers now, they're pretty buff. They're both on gunboats, no shenanigans, just gonna be a good old regular jump in here. It looks like they're pushing in through grass, trying to create space. You can see Warp is really far back. I think he's about to jump in pretty aggressively, if I had to guess. Like, just walk forward and jump in, because no one's watching the Warp flank right now. He's just all alone. Like, no one's even close to being able to stop him, but I guess he doesn't realize. Alright, so Warped is not wall hacking confirmed. That's good to know.
Now, Warped is just waiting for an opportunity here, and yeah, just him not getting caught out is big. His entire French team is more focused on watching where the combo is, but the Mule is there on the side. They're peeking in, but he's not seeing those 2 soldiers. Jordy's also aggressive, but that drops the overcharge!
Oh
no! Sneaky trap from Deli, and that is absolutely huge. This French team is just now activated, and they're going in forward, using the insane momentum they just got from this. But surely far forward, they're pushing in. They really want that middle point without popping the overcharge yet.
The Mac Medic strikes again. QB's on the flank, getting ready to cut people off, but no one there. Everyone's out. Even Warped managed to get out. Jordy's going to be the one man in. Actually, does get Uber Force out. I didn't even notice that. My bad. Yeah, nice job there from Jordy. Jordy's been playing really well so far on this map. Getting that Uber Force out, that's a big, big deal.
Yeah, Jordy is definitely probably so far the MVP of Snakewater for SKEDDA, but they're pushing in forward here, and SKEDDA's getting pushed out. French team, Max losing Lucas tank thanks to Deli. Now he needs to get out of the situation. He's getting caught off guard there, Peter, and then Brugman's finishing up the job. QB picking up Warped as well, and that is just crumbling, falling apart.
Oh no, never mind.
Manix trying to go for a hero play, get down Patchouli, equalize this at least a little bit, but no, he's gonna get denied there. And now second point belongs to the French team, and that massive Uber charge advantage, and most of SKEDDA going down, which means they're not gonna be able to put up defense fast enough. F just spawned, so now it's the perfect time for the French to get themselves the first point.
It was looking so good for SKEDDA at the beginning of this map, but they're just right back to where they left off, just getting slightly outplayed on everything, just not quite being able to execute, and we're about to see this uber push in here, coming in here from the Frenchies.
Just basically just a formality right now, taking out that sentry gun, putting some players on the point. Brugman's on the point now. Nevo's gonna join QB. No one from SKEDDA is there. They're just getting completely denied in spawn. And that is the first point that's going the way of the French team. And they are just sailing right now, Peter. They are super happy and then just going off of that momentum from basically what was map 1.
Yeah, lots of allies in chat, I'm pretty sure. You know, their own personal mumble going on right now. But there's a really big difference between the way SKEDDA tried to hold last and the way the Frenchies did it, where the Frenchies, they were just out of spawn, jumping around, trying to waste time, and it just was barely enough to do it. And then this time around, all of SKEDDA just got caught in spawn, and there was just nothing they could do. Immediately gets capped. Looked so clean for the Frenchies. Let's see if SKEDDA can win another mid, though. They won the last one.
Pushing in a little bit. Lucas getting a little bit caught off guard here by Deli. Deli is still very, very healthy. They do catch Brugman and Demule, picking up Lucas and Manix. Warp's also going to get picked up by Nevo,
Ooh,
and that is huge.
Jordy's playing so well. It is actually crazy. He's just winning all the fights on the flank right now. So that's going to shut down any extra aggression coming out of this mid. Still a really nice mid fight here for Fence, but unable to really capitalize on it properly because of that Jordy flank just holding it down. But they're going to continue to move forward anyway here. Jordy's going to jump around now. He's in onto the, well, I wanted to say the medic, but he is not. It's just going to be an Uber exchange, and he is out of there. And the spawners should be better for SKEDDA. Nevo's in deep.
Nevo's looking for some pickups there. Demule now trying to take a page out of Jordy's playbook, and he's going to get denied and pushed out by Jordy himself. Now Jordy's going air, but now they're gonna deny him. Nevo takes the kill, and the Frenchies once again holding quite far forward. They're unafraid of Lucas, Aft, and Mac, who now just pushing in slowly. Mac is all the way at the bottom, and that's not really a good place for a medic to be. He needs to be really saved. Dali is pushing in forward, picking up 2 kills are the scouts, and Warp's also gonna fall. That's only 3 players alive for the side of SKEDDA. The entire French team, sans Brugman, are healthy and alive. They're just gonna start pushing in. Neither medic really has the Uber charge, so they're just happy to push and dry. Look what's happening right now.
They're winning the fight. Mac trying to go for a bust, but that's not an Ubersaw. An Ubersaw could have maybe perhaps gotten an Ubersaw in there, but no. Yeah, it's just, again, like just the flank play from the soldiers is just doing so much distraction for Forfence, and then they just have the scouts clean up really, really efficiently. And they're just taking these straight up fights. No Ubers involved, no Ubers needed at all. And they're just winning the fights and just outplaying SKEDDA, because I'm pretty sure SKEDDA is doing just as much damage and getting almost as many kills, and it just doesn't matter because at the end of the day, the French team is just in a better position. So, yeah, just crazy. 2-0, even though SKEDDA for a long part of this map has looked better.
Yeah, I just don't know. I think it's just all about the final execution, and just the French are absolutely locked down on that one. Look at Nevo, just very far forward, taking a lot of damage with trouble. Warpico jumping into the behind, now being followed by Jordy, who takes down Patchouli. Jordy's going absolutely on the rocker, taking down 2 for the price of 1. Unfortunately, most of the SKEDDA team has died, but that buys them very, very precious time and hope at a stabilization here, because the middle, once again, is being won by the French, and without a medic, well, they can't really push much further. Mac is going to be able to hold forward, but he does need the rest of the team. Jordy just single-handedly keeping the dream alive for SKEDDA, and they really, really need to wake up now, because there's 20 minutes left on the clock for them, and they're 2 points down.
Mac needs to not drop to another sticky trap. That's what needs to happen right now. There's some stickies over the door, basically, and the stickies over the balcony. And they, okay, he actually gets the demo man there, so the stickies don't get properly cleared out, but they're gonna Uber out anyway. Let's see if this AF Uber can get any kind of work done. They are gonna chase a soldier on just Demule, being such a distraction, gonna come in from the other side, still just jumping around. He's not gonna achieve much, like from a damage kill perspective, but yeah, it's just all a distraction, and his team is good. They have the Uber ad. They're just outplaying them.
Yeah, I think it's just like the French team just has everything. They have the Uber charge. Nevo's gonna be the recipient of that. He's chasing down the scout, takes the kill. going on for Warp now. Warp isn't behind. He's a little bit dangerous, but Warp's going to be out of there. Now, Deli jumping in forward. Going to lock down, and once again, look what happened. We had the Mule just completely distracted the enemy team. They decided to just go after the soldier rather than finish the cap. And French still holding on the middle. They got forward spawns. They got everyone in tow, and SKEDDA was just simply unable to finish this middle. And it's huge. I mean, Max is going to have that Uber advantage. You know, Patrulli had to use his Uber charge. But that doesn't really matter, you know. French are still
clear the
dealing all
stickies, please. Okay, they're just going to pop through this time around. No shenanigans, no drop-ins or anything. But the Frenchies, they are pretty cleanly out of there. Just going to be QB that they catch out. Actually, Demul goes down as well. Never mind. This is actually a pretty decent Uber overall. They could definitely do something, but this is the classic Uber seesaw situation. Patrulli's out. Now he has the Uber ad, but now Mac needs to be careful. Mac's actually pretty far forward. If he's not careful, he's going to just get caught out. Yeah, they just want to use their man advantage to send in a soldier. And Jordy's in, and gets one good rocket, but a decent serve and some good dodging there from Patrulli. That's going to take care of that. But while all of this is happening, Mac is actually building up Uber. So the Frenchies, they're not able to use the Uber ad, and just as I say that, they use the Uber ad. And they're just going to use it on a demo man.
Yeah, they pick up Lucas, and they do clean up Warp here thanks to QB. Chasing after Manix, maybe be able to pick up another scout. There is some sticks. Nice place there by Deli, blocking down the scout, unable to escape, and they're going to get themselves the middle point for that push. So that's pretty good. However, Mac does still have that 100% charge in tow, just didn't have anyone to use it on. So now they're just holding on to second once again. Bit of a stalemate going on, you know, they're just pushing, you know, middle, second. Not really much more is happening, but it looks like the French are just more or less in control. They are the ones who are the dealer in this house, and they are happy to basically dictate how this game shapes up. Now, SKEDDA is kind of holding in the saw right now. They are inching forward. They have the Uber charge, but that advantage that they had is slowly being chipped away, and now Patrulli's going to hit his own Uber charge. There's a sticky trap on the door as well, so looks like SKEDDA is just not going to risk that one. They don't want to make the same mistake they did last time.
Yeah, Uber seesaw has ended. Actually, Nevo's going to get taken down, so definitely a moment of just absolute passivity here from the French team. And yeah, they just eventually slowed down Mac enough that he wasn't able to get in a good position to use the Uber, and they're just going to not use it. So Jordy's in now, as well as Warp. And Warp has made his way in behind lines. Jordy has been taken down, but now Warp is going to put them in an uncomfortable situation where they need to figure out where he is, but they actually figure it out really quickly. He's going to end up trading there with Demul, and that's actually a really decent trade just because having a soldier behind is so uncomfortable that, yeah, you take that trade. And actually, Bruceman, he just immediately in this window trying to create space for his team, and it is a big distraction again. He's not committing to anything just yet. But you can just see the French scout just peeking and prodding over and over again, and I think they're actually eventually just going to end up just going out here. But Mac's actually taking quite a lot of their spam. He's going to pop very quickly in this Uber exchange. Oh, and they dropped Lucas as well.
It's very unfortunate for them. I mean, their Patrulli is pushing in with Nevo once again. It's just we've seen this time and time again how well it works out. They're just basically bullying SKEDDA out of the situation. Max low on HP, needs to get out of the last. Dropping Lucas. Oh my god, they're just going in right now. Peter jumping in his mule. Oh my god, absolutely huge, taking down, well, doing a lot of damage, taking down one player, but that jump was massive. However, losing two soldiers in that last dry push. Here's QB still looking for Mac pickup. He's gonna get
no, they're not gonna forget. They're not gonna forget. They're not gonna forget. Please.
No.
Oh, he takes down. They almost forgot about the point. That's nuts. Okay, they are going to lose Patrulli for it because he just left Patrulli there, but that was... If he had just body blocked a little bit better, that would have been a cap. So that's absolutely nuts that almost worked. Jordan's going to jump in, get Bruceman there, and they're going to eventually take the second point, despite the spam coming up from Deli.
Peter, what a game are we watching right now? I mean, I did not expect going into this that Frenchies are going to be as confident, and they are really just showing, you know, going in after that last Uber, just basically, well, neither of us has an Uber, so why don't we just push in, you know, like, screw it, we can risk that. We maybe will lose second point, but we're still 2 points up. There's nothing to risk.
Behind.
This spy looking for Max.
Oh, he hit three.
Oh my god, the Uber popped is just in time. There's so much damage that the Mule has done onto Mac, and that force is just absolutely massive. They're trying to make something out of it. They are capping middle, but Patrulli is about to hit 100%, and look at French defense. They're just locking down the sawmill there.
Not allowing anyone through. Maybe someone can jump through the window here. That's going to be about the last chance. Warp on grass as well. Looks like, okay, he has finally decided to jump in. This is going to be really, really important. Hits nothing.
Well, just like that, this jump is crumbling, and well, Mac has a lot of uber charge to catch up to, but he's doing a pretty good job, you know, 75% already, but truly he's not really been using it much, but they're just pushing in. Look how far forward they are. QB's gonna fall down there, but they're coming in. Brugman messes it up a little bit. Lucas Tank is still putting up a lot of damage, but they're pushing back. They're not willing to take this fight, and I don't think I agree with this decision. Max holding quite far forward. They're gonna be looking, jumping in behind. Is Jordy once again doing so much damage to the flag, but he's gonna go fall down? No, he's still there, and Patchouli, it has forced to push and pop the uber charge. They're losing 2, they're losing 3, and now Patchouli needs to get out of this situation. Look how hot on his heels is Af and Lucas.
So
they're chasing.
Okay, finally has a soldier with him. Oh my god, I was getting really, really scared that he was just going to get mowed down by a single scout just running after him for 10 seconds. But no. Okay, they are going to save him, but Mac in a really commanding position here with full Uberad. QB's not going to have that much time to... Oh, actually, he's been building it for a while. I missed that. The sentry gun is going to be level 3, and there's going to be a sniper, and probably a heavy as well once they have that. Oh my god, Nevo almost got the snipe off of Mac. Just ran right through a sniper sideline. He's going to live to tell the tale this time around, and here comes Nevo.
Overcharge being used on the sentry gun, now a little bit left on it, so they're gonna try to lock down the spawn. They're locking down Deli in the spawn. That's a good play. Now they need to get someone at the point though. Manic is trying to fight for it, but Nevo is just not gonna let anyone through. Jumping into Lucas onto Patchouli, taking him down to half HP with the reset locker right there. It is just going to crumble on the rocks, and with 3 players up and Mac gone, that is just going to mean Frenchies are pushing out. They're chasing down Jordy, finishing it up the job as well. And now Second's gonna get capped. And once again, Frenchies are staying in this without dropping a single point.
Move did such a good job there. It's a really big difference. You just have the soldiers just jumping around, causing chaos in the middle of the Uber just so they can't put proper pressure on the point. It's really, really well done there by him. And it looked pretty simple, but yeah, it's just incredibly huge just so that his team doesn't get locked in the spawn in the same way just because he's out there actually taking fire and causing chaos and pulling him out of position. He's going to jump in now onto the point. I think he's looking for the demo man. Oh my god, he gets... Oh, what a shot onto Lucas. And then even, okay, almost gets the soldier underneath as well. What actually wins the fight against the scout.
Warp is low on HP. He survives. The SKEDDA is kind of staying in this by the skin of their teeth. Max supporting the scout here. Af pushing in forward with Manics. They're trying to bully their way in to this point. Deli is low on HP, but Shuri's basically sticking that medigun onto the demo, keeping him alive long enough to get out of the situation, go back to mid and stabilize. Both meds still haven't decided to pop this Uber charge, so it's been dry push all along. And now Warp is gonna basically, just turn around and protect the second point from getting capped. I think once again SKEDDA just playing a bit too passively. They need to start making those plays, opening up. You know, Jordy alone cannot do it. He needs his entire team supporting him, and they're pushing in right now, taking down the Mule and Brugman. Thanks to Jordy and Warped, that opens up the flank, and pushing in is Mac with the rest of the team. They're looking for more.
It's a really good start here for them. They just need to not lead to any sticky traps or anything like that. But actually, Soldier gets taken down and Jordy unable to get out of there alive. And all of a sudden, this has just not worked out for them. And again, it's kind of crazy how the Frenchies just keep on edging them out in these situations. Just doing slightly better, just executing better. And then now they are at the advantage position here. And we're definitely reaching the time where they could just sit here for 5 minutes and not commit at all. And they would be in a really nice position. So it's not completely critical, but yeah, SKEDDA, they need to do something. And Jordy, he is on that mission. Actually, the Soldier's on that mission as well.
Force out of Mac too. That's huge. Like SKEDDA is now pushing with the rest of the Uber charge, trying to make a play here. Maybe see if they can get Patchouli. Deli was low on HP, but he's getting healed up now. And now Patchouli
gets hit by a sticky somehow. All right, but yeah, Jordy, it's going to be all about him. He's been playing really well so far. Let's see if he can just continue his streak of incredibly clutch plays.
Gonna be do or die for them, I think. I mean, SKEDDA can probably hold this if Patchouli does pop the Uber charge, and Uber charge advantage does not mean that the Uber or the point is done as good as done. But the Frenchies are moving into position. Mac is not gonna have enough time to build his Uber charge, popping immediately from the door. They're not willing to risk it once again, focusing on the sentry gun. Mirror match from the last time they were pushing last. Now they're getting some point people on the point, coming in. Jordy on the point, stabbing the Mule, but it's not gonna be enough. He's gonna go down. And the third point floats the way of the French team. Further away SKEDDA from reaching the next stage of the competition. And once again, the dream of looking once again in the final, it's just fading away for them. I don't know what they can do. It's just like what you said before, Peter. Every single time, you know, they're playing pretty well. It's closely matched. Like even we saw in the logs, the damage was on the side of SKEDDA. The kills were on the side of SKEDDA. But it just doesn't matter in the end if the enemy team is just basically that little bit more better than you, because a little bit better is still better.
Yeah, and we're kind of seeing that Team Fortress 2 is a team game right now, but let's see what happens on this mid here. Mids have been quite chaotic and very different, and they moves in quite deep in. Looks like they want to just take the top area, and SKEDDA is kind of letting him have it, but now they're going to go in very aggressively, putting a soldier behind. QB goes down to a nice pipe. The move, I don't think he's going to survive this. Jordy's going to bomb in. Huge bomb from Jordy. Takes down Pass and Nevo as well. Really, really good mid here coming out from SKEDDA. Looks like their mids are properly dialed in after a while here, so great job by them. This is the momentum that they need. They need to just move on forward, get second, and then nice Uber into last.
Yeah, they just gotta gas, you know? Like, that's all they need to do. They don't have that much time left on the clock. Very much, like, there's enough time for them to equalize this, maybe edge out the win, but at the same time, the time is just running out. And they don't have, you know, as the time runs out, more risky plays start happening, more risks are taken, more, you know, sketchy situations are being created. But now with Mac and 100% Uber charge, they're gonna push in through the usual spot on the shutter. Lucas is in position, the rest of the team. Af is ready, Warped is ready. They're all ready to push in, and they're doing it right now. They see the sentry, focus it down. Now there is Brugman on the point. They're gonna have to take down the Brugman. Brugman's getting a lot of punishment, but once again, Frenchies are in the sky. It's so hard to hit them. Now comes Nevo with his heavy, but it's not enough without anyone blocking the point. And SKEDDA getting themselves on the board for the first time.
Yeah, this time around, it was a pretty decent hold. I want to say they were like one rocket away from actually getting that point. So there we go. 7 minutes remaining. That's enough time to get 2 rounds easily. We saw how quickly the Frenchies could do it before. They did that in 3 minutes. So maybe we're about to see the biggest twist ever, where all of a sudden everything turns around and we're going to get the reverse sweep coming out here from SKEDDA. I don't write these scripts, I just read them. But let's see what's next on the agenda here.
You know, I'm not a writer, I'm a reader, and so am I here, but I'm enjoying what I'm reading right now. And here comes Jordy once again, huge bomb, but he's gonna get punished. This time they're ready. QB taking down the soldier, but they do take down Mac. The Mule is credit for that, and now it all falls apart. You know, SKEDDA had such a great mid last round.
Oh, Lucas in on the medic.
Is going for Patchouli, but no, you can't do that. You can't hit him. Medics now, last man standing on the point, but he's just gonna get cleaned up like that, executed. And now middle once again goes the way of Frenchies. You know, they lost that one last point, but they still have 2 left, and they're probably feeling quite comfortable about themselves.
Yeah, this is really nice for them. Again, I talked about it before, how the Frenchies could technically just sit around for 5 minutes and they would be in a really good position. Well, double that now, triple that now. It's so much more true. If they do nothing for the next 5 minutes, they win. But they're just going to play the advantage. I love this. They're going back in here, and these last ones have been really good for them so far, but they are unable to just catch them inside of spawn this time around like they've done the other times around. Mac's about to have Uber. Actually, it's a crit squeak. Never mind that. And yeah, that's a really nice last hold here. And Mac, I think he's going to go back and switch to Uber. Yeah, he did. All right. And they might just try to push out here and see what they can get done. But
yeah,
good hold.
I mean, good hold, but SKEDDA really needs to start making those risky decisions. Those plays need to start happening, because I mean, you can see they're already pushing it forward. They don't have that much to lose. They need to start making those plays happen, and that's what they're doing. At one point, Lucas following up, Manix taking up a fight and winning against Brugman. But it seems that the French are not letting up. They're still putting a lot of damage. Dally is in tow. The move goes down, and a huge bomb cleaning up the scout. Max is running out of players to heal, but they're still hanging on. People are left, right, and center dying, jumping in. Is the soldier Jordy once again going to be able to finish the job?
Wow. Huge bomb in there from Jordy. That was looking kind of sketchy, but it ended up being a really good moment for them here. Booch on the flank. Did he get spotted? He did not. He's going to have a really good opportunity to take the medic down. Oh, he crated it though. It's all good. You missed the big air shot, but Mac didn't find a surface to slide off of either. There we go.
And just with him, 95% supercharge landed on the floor too.
Yeah, we're kind of back. SKEDDA, they have a huge ad, and then somehow it just works out for the Frenchies anyway. It's just crazy how this keeps happening.
Yeah, we're basically reaching the final stages of this game. 4 minutes left on the clock. 4 minutes of excitement. SKEDDA still very much in this. They can still pull this off, but seeing how the Frenchies are playing, even with the insane plays of Jordy, I don't know if they have what it takes at the moment. They really need to restructure a little bit of how they decide to push and do something. I mean, they're pushing in right now. They don't have the Ubercharge, but Max is so wide open. He's trying to bait out the enemy team out of position. And jumping is Brugman, seeing the scout. They do finish the job thanks to Nebo. Now Brugman is going even further, but Mac is now out of the situation. He's just a bit too deep without the scouts. It's going to be difficult to hold this. Lucas doing a lot of damage, but he's not going to be able to survive this one. Now Brugman is on the medic, and Mac is in a lot of trouble since, well, he's all by himself, warped all the way behind. He's going to, well, try to slow him down, but I don't think the Frenchies are going to take the bait, you know? They're just going to kind of let him be.
Yeah, he's not that... I mean, he can spawn camp Nebo, I guess?
Yeah, but
He's
Nebo...
probably just going to go Pyro or something and deal with it. Oh, no, never mind.
Oh, cheeky little surf.
And he's gone. Alright, just scout things.
Alright, let's get back to the action that is happening on the second point right now. A lot of players are quite unhealthy on the side of French, and they have used their Ubercharge to save themselves from that push. And then Mac is, well, still alive and healthy. They're pushing in through Saw right now, and it seems that the Frenchies are happy just holding out mid. 3 minutes left on the clock. Tick-tock goes the clock. Jumping in, surfing in is Mac, holding on to App, trying to clean or make some kind of position for themselves. Jordy once again tried to jump in, but getting completely denied by the scouts. Does fall down this QB, but not before they do clean up Jordy there on the flank. Jumping in, Brugman is very scrappy this fight right now. Kills going left, right, and center, but it seems that SKEDDA once again losing out on this one and deciding to fall back, and I don't think that you guys have the time and the opportunity to fall back, but maybe that was just a fake out.
He moves in behind, takes down the medic. Huge play from Dimul. Oh, he's going to get a soldier as well. Threaten the back cap. Yeah, this is so over. Just going to be Jordy. Can Jordy kill 4 people fully buffed on point? Go for Jordy. Alright, he's going to do his best. Oh, he gets air shot. Alright.
There's one way to go out, is go out with style. Now Ubercharge Nevo going on the point. They're popping. Why they're popping? Now they're switching off. I mean, wow, nice plays like Patchouli trying to just basically get that cap time, making SKEDDA panic, and they're losing everyone. And just like that, I think Peter with 1 minute and 45 seconds left on the clock and 3-point gap between those two teams, I think the dream is over.
GG's have been called. Everyone knows it. This one's over. We're about to have a fun mid. But yeah, for French, they take this second map, or third map, sorry. And they do lose a single round, but it was crazy how much more dominant it just turned all of a sudden after losing that first one. Alright, Lucas, he's in deep. I think he's on the jumper. Alright, I respect the hustle. As I was expecting more direct hits, to be honest. Menix get some snipes in. Let's see if we can hit some. Oh, Jordy's on the is it the Buffalo Steak Heavy? Just running around trying to punch people. Good times.
He's still a bit of a menace, but not against Delhi, you know, like you can't just really take down a demo one-on-one like this.
Oh, we have crits coming out here. Everyone's punched up.
Taking out the demo, taking out the soldier, looking for another. The Evo was having a bit of a trouble, but Happy Feet Wombo combo, he's just dancing around up. No, but the Medic's gonna catch it stray and go down Patchouli. Wow, that was actually quite good for him. 4K here for Af with the use of the crits. But ultimately, this is all for the logs at this point.
Oh yeah. Nothing. Don't get it twisted. Even though we're excited, it does not matter. This is just good fun, as everyone's just playing out the time. We have about 10 seconds left. Can Jordy hit one more air shot? Come on, Jordy. This is important for the logs. Looks like the answer is no. He's not even going to get the chance.
Jumping in, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that is it. That's all she wrote, Peter. Frenchies advanced themselves to the next stage of the lower bracket finals, I believe. And very, very sad to see SKEDDA get knocked out at this stage after a fantastic LAN, giving us an amazing show. They're unfortunately going to have to take a break from the season and, well, walk away with their heads hung low. As Frenchies take this one. What
Yeah.
a game that was.
Yeah, just such a huge shift basically with, I don't know, 2 minutes remaining or 3 minutes remaining in the first map on process. Like do you ever say something where you're just like, I'm definitely being crazy? Like the two towers was actually toppled by an ex-secret Russian agent, and then it turns out, yeah, you were true. It was like true. You're like, what? Wait, what? I was right. I was just kidding, man. No, yeah.
No,
I
absolutely.
somehow nailed it.
Yeah, you did nail it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna choose to believe you, and yeah, there you go. You're like, I didn't expect this to end up in such a fashion. I didn't expect the Frenchies to activate so hard. You know, like the first map, it just seemed like SKEDDA has all the answers. They're playing well. It was the Frenchies pick. You know, they have nothing to lose there. But at the very end of the day, Frenchies just second map activation and then just gassed all the way. They did not run out of fuel all the way until the third map end of it. And now we're going to look at the logs once again on Snakewater. Delhi with top damage, which is, you know, kind of didn't really show in the game. I mean, he was picking up kills left, right, and center. But once again, Nevo, 25 kills. And Af on the side of SKEDDA, 29 kills. It was just a scout show, but we do need to give a shout out to Jordy. Only 16 kills, but he was getting the crucial picks there. Like, it may not be as many as Af, it's half of them, but he was getting the damage, he was getting the plays, he was opening up, and I really have to give it to Jordy that he was playing out of his mind this time around.
Yeah, he did so many good plays. Absolutely. Also, Demul, I feel like we should shout him out. It was less flashy, but it was just really smart play overall.
Yeah. Just distraction, staying in the air. I really love how the Frenchies were holding last. Like basically, they would send the soldiers out who were just jumping around in the air, hard to hit, ready to jump onto last at any possible moment once the Uber is out. So it just really showed, you know, they had a strategy for this map, and it really worked out for them. I mean, we're looking at the kills right now. It's just after the very top, but then it's just the Frenchie show. Nevo, Demule, Kubi, Delhi. So many kills on their side. Luke is only 6 kills on him. Just kind of getting, you know, blocked by the enemy team. He does have the damage, but he just didn't have the follow through. He didn't have the je ne sais pas, you know?
Yeah, and often when that happens, that means that the scouts like just took all the kills. And I will say Af has a lot of kills. He has 29 and 13. So I think you can kind of see that as a 1-2 combo. All right, where Lucas probably had all his kills stolen by Af. But yeah, still, it's overall really crazy game from the Frenchies, pulling it out of the hat. And we're not done yet, folks. We're
Not
actually
for today.
Not for today. No, we're going to be done for a while, so this is a good time to get some food. But after this, we're going to have the upper bracket finals, and the winner of New Panzer and Mandem. Sorry, it's going to be New Panzer versus Mandem, the winner of which will go into the grand finals, and then the loser will play against Forfence in the lower bracket final. So definitely make sure you check that out. New Panzer versus Mandem. New Panzer just coming off of a land win, and then of course Mandem, the big favorites in the entire season, I'd say. Definitely don't miss that. And that's going to be, who were the casters? It's going to be Domato and Cerny with J-Max on production. Of course, we'd had Samus on production now. So, yeah, definitely stick around for that. Do you have any closing words, Jake, that you absolutely must get off your chest before we head out?
I just, my hearts go out to SKEDDA. That's all I have to say. And extremely well played the Frenchies, you know, like they really showed us what the TF Fortress 2 is about. They are staying in the tournament, and they definitely show that, you know, they have what it takes to fight for the final. But looking forward to the New Panzer versus Mandem. It's definitely going to be really fun to watch them. And like you said, coming off fresh from the victory in Uberfest in Dortmund, we're up for a really good show.
Absolutely. And with that, we're going to say thank you guys for watching. This has been the lower bracket round 1. What was it? Lower bracket semi-final, sorry, between SKEDDA and Forfence. Forfence winning that. They will move on to the lower bracket final, where they will face off against the loser between Mandem and New Panzer, which is coming up at 21, basically normal times here. But for me, Samus and Jake, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in a bit, and have a good night.